Should Karl Stefanovic have interviewed Tommy Robinson? Should Pauline Hanson be spending time with a convicted criminal like Tommy Robinson? What does this mean for Australian politics, and what is the flow and effect? Stay tuned for my thoughts on the potential end of the two-party system in Australia.
Greg.
What?
You've been reading the paper again.
Oh, no, again.
Mate, you know what I say every time you read the paper?
What?
You come on here and then bloody people start commenting because you have some view on something. But what you were telling me this morning on a certain gentleman, our very good friend Pauline.
Pauline who?
Pauline who? Pauline Hanson.
Oh, that Pauline.
Our good friend Pauline. Pauline's was over in London, England.
I think she's still there, maybe. I don't know.
Is she still there?
Oh, she's hanging around.
She might still be there.
She's
I don't
doing
know.
some things.
So anyway, there's a bit of a trio going on here that I've seen. Pauline's over there.
Yeah.
Karl Stefanovic's over there. And some other gentleman that you mentioned this morning's over there.
Who was that?
Tommy Robinson.
Oh, that's
Tommy. Your good mate Tommy.
Well, they've been hanging
and
with
anyway,
Tommy.
you had some controversial
Well,
things.
I
think controversial things to say. Come on.
Look, I made the mistake. I Googled him.
But let's be serious now.
Right.
So guys, we all know that a prime example here in Australia, as we said before, Channel 9 News, they dramatise and blow things out of proportion.
Yeah, they do.
That's what news sources do. That's what websites often do. I can see you looking at Wikipedia here, which is an interesting site in itself.
His criminal record reads it's a long chart.
What have we got here?
Oh, look, it goes way, way back. He's a public menace. He's a standover man. He headbutts people if he's not happy. He got a 3-year ban when he was playing football. You got to be good to get that. He was involved in mortgage fraud, which put him in jail. And when I talk a mortgage fraud, I'm not talking about he lied.
It was his own house.
It was an organised mortgage fraud where he had a growing group of people on how to manipulate the system. So, he got himself into hot water then. He's having a blue with his girlfriend or his partner on the street. An off-duty policeman comes and gets involved. He headbutts him, pashes him, throws him to the ground, stumps on his head. Everybody does that. I mean,
mate,
serious anger issues. And then he organised a riot, 150 people riot.
Some would call it a gathering.
Well, actually, 100 people. He got 150 hours of community service for it. And then he travels on fake passports. He's changed his name 5 times.
Well, look.
Making my 2 parking fines look bad.
Yeah, well, it is. But what I will say, though, it is not the first time that the media embellishes something. And when they are on a witch hunt for someone, which they are in England for Tommy Robinson, they're on an absolute witch hunt for him. They're going to be you can conjure up bloody anything. You know what I mean? I know, obviously, he's a bit of a hothead.
Well, of course, he's an anti-Islamic activist. That's his big one that upsets people.
I don't look. That's what Wikipedia says, but I don't actually. My opinion is I don't believe that it's that. What he's trying to stand up for the insane, out of control immigration that has been happening in the UK, and that's been happening for a long, long time. And what his stance is essentially is that he doesn't agree with just bringing people in left, right, and centre, not doing any background checks, just pouring people in. Then all of a sudden, you and I were over in London town not too long ago.
We were,
right?
September.
Now we're walking through the main streets of London, right? And then all of a sudden, it's not the London that we saw 10, 20 years ago, right?
It was hard to spot the POM.
Well, I mean, if you want to say it in that way, what I'm trying to say is that it was absolute, apart from the people that were there, the setting, the way that it was designed, the places. I mean, we walked through not 5 minutes out of London. It looks like there's a flea market going on.
Yes.
It's like this isn't – so in one respect, right, you've got to understand that he's grown up in the England, I guess, that we knew, what we saw, and he's sick of it. What would you do? What would your reaction be if Australia in the main street of Sydney was like that in 10, 20 years' time? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, not comfortable. But look, Australia actually has a stronger immigration in this country than England does. I think Australia's like 30% of Australians have immediate Australians at the moment are from other countries, where in England it's only 28% or 27%. I saw those stats in the newspaper. But the reality is they have a lot more people than we do. But no, I wouldn't be comfortable. I hear what he's saying, and he's saying that there are an uncomfortable element coming in from other countries, setting up their life in England and trying to change England and make England not the good old England that we knew, and bringing in their radical views, bringing in their different religions, not changing, not accepting. If you're going to live in England, well, learn to accept England. You know, don't try and change it, because England is England. And I'm the same with Australia. I reckon everybody's welcome to come to Australia. But listen, we're Australia.
Yeah.
The reality is we do what we do. We are who we are.
But I think that comes through strong leadership though, right?
Yeah, it does.
You've got to have that happen through strong leadership. And I think anyone could say over the last 10 to 20 to 30 years, England hasn't exactly had much strong leadership, right?
No.
I'm not saying Australia's been any better, but we have had people in place that at least had a stance on something, right? Whereas England seems to just be a free-for-all and coming in, right?
Look, Karl Stefanovic, of course, he he does an interview, and in his world, doing an interview is okay.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, I mean, that's his job and whatever. But now Pauline Hanson, she's hung a little bit longer with him, tried to get to know him, travelled into his hometown, met his friends. Remember, my mother used to say, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." And just be careful there, because there's a lot of truth in that little saying.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of, what do you think of the likes of Karl spending time interviewing him? Should he interview him? And what do you think about Pauline, getting into Tommy's head to find out how he thinks?
Well, I think at the end of the day, Karl has his own show. He can interview whoever the hell he likes, right, left, or indifferent. One thing I will say, though, is that I've absolutely seen Karl Stefanovic take a backflip from where he was a few years ago. He was out there on Channel 9, mainstream media, in the middle of the breakfast show, telling everyone they should get the COVID jab. And if you don't get the COVID jab, you're basically un-Australian, right? And he ended up being monumentally wrong about that.
Join the queue. How many people would do it?
Oh, of course, I'm saying. But at the time, right, he had a very, very strong view. People would argue a left view potentially. And now he's like gone all the way to the other side. So what I'm saying is, now he's out doing independent media. What we often find is that when there's independent media, more often than not, they're leaning towards the right.
Yeah, and I'm happy for somebody to be a radical media person, because they're trying to get bums on seats. They're trying to get attention.
He's stirring up controversy.
But Pauline Hanson, she wants to be a significant leader in the country. Should she be careful of the company she keeps?
I don't think in this day and age in politics it matters. I really don't, because what gets the votes and what seems to get people going, you saw it firsthand in America with Donald Trump.
And his friendship with Putin?
Well, his friendship with Putin. And people would argue, I would argue that it's a healthy thing for America to be friendly with other world leaders, especially other world leaders that potentially can press buttons and blow shit up.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer?
Potentially, right? So you could easily argue that, look, at the end of the day, if we talk about Trump really quickly, it was either Trump or the cackling hyena, right? Kamala had no friggin' idea what day it was, let alone running a damn country. And you don't want someone like that who's just, you can't respect her on the world stage, right? Now, I don't like Trump, but at the same time, it's not that I don't like him, but out of the two, I'd definitely pick Trump over her, because she had no idea what was going on. Now, the problem that we have in politics all over the world is that in the two-party system, we have a moron and an even bigger moron. Very rarely is there someone that's decent.
What Trump's started a war he shouldn't want to start.
Well, probably, but I mean, there's other flow-ons from Iran and all that stuff. But
he's made himself about $400 or $500 billion out of being a president. That's pretty well
at the end of the day, he's not the first president that's left office and made them has been in office.
Not at that level.
And yeah, well, I mean, look, during Obama's spell, he dropped more bombs, Obama, than any other president during his spell.
Well, maybe he was a bit more strategic, because
Well, the thing was, he was dropping it on countries that no one gave a shit about.
Well, there you go. Trump dropped it on Iran, and everybody warned him.
Yeah.
This is the bag you don't want to kick.
But this is the thing. Anyway, we're going to go on to a whole nother rant if we start with Obama and all the bullshit and his Nobel Peace-winning prize bullshit. Mate, the guy dropped more bombs than any other US president in history, but he dropped it on areas that were strategic like Syria and all these other places, and because no one gives a shit about those areas, which they should, I'm certainly not saying. But the thing is, and then all of a sudden, he somehow wins the Nobel Peace Prize. Like, the bloke's a bloody criminal. Anyway, let's not go down that line. Let's get back to Tommy Robinson before we wrap up here, Greg. So you had a lot to say about Tommy. You read out his long list of...
He's a thug.
He's a thug, apparently. You read out his long list of things going on. What does this mean, though? Because Pauline's over there talking to Tommy. What Tommy does do really well, regardless of all the things that, you can say he claimed to be rightful or wrong, whatever, in his convictions. She's obviously going over there because he knows how to rally people together, right?
Yes.
And if there's one thing in Australia that is working for Pauline right now is rallying people together, right? Now, there's lots of people in her party that are a bit out there and they're crazy, right? But the thing is, she's rallying people together. So what does this mean for Australian politics? And a couple of weeks ago, you said that the two-party system potentially could be in danger here in Australia. I don't think that's changed at all in the last couple of weeks.
No, it's nothing. I think when push comes to shove, election time is announced, Pauline Hanson will get rocket fuel.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be one of those things that, and the Australian media, if obviously, because they try to pour cold water on everything that she does, the Australian mainstream media, but do you think that it's something where the more they pour cold water on what she does, the same way they indicted Trump, every time they indicted Trump and gave him another charge, these polls went up.
Yeah.
Do you think the same will happen with Pauline?
Yep.
In Australia.
Yep.
So the Australian mainstream media pouring cold water on everything that she does and saying she's terrible and everything else. Every time they do that, she's just going to get more popular.
Yep. Including the opposition doing the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
as in
the Liberal Party's dead and buried for a while now. Anyway.
Well, they're having an argument. Do we support Pauline Hanson? Do we not support her? They're all having a bloody brawl about it. So
yeah,
they're in disarray.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's going to be a very bloody interesting next couple of years, but we're going to see where that's going to go because at the end of the day, like I said, you got these polarizing figures, and the more polarizing it is in politics, the more popular you get.
Well, absolutely. Any rate.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your hot take. We'll see you all next week.
Bye for now.